as a topic, it was added in 2011. So in that particular year, we had anywhere around 22 questions from environment. And environment, it's a subject that's, that is a recent subject. It's an interdisciplinary subject. So it is merged with the geography and sciences. It's very difficult to separate environment from geography and science. So some questions, if you see, it look like a environment question, but it may be a geography question. Some geography question may look like environment question. So that's how it's integrated. So environment mixed with geography and sciences, it was another 6-7 questions. So totally it was around 25 question. It was from environment. That means 25% of your paper was from the environment. But then later it came to 20, then it came to 17, then it came to 16, then it came to 20. So last year it was around approximately 17 questions from environment. So that means anywhere around 20% of our paper approximately we are getting from environment in the prelims. So without environment and geography, it's very difficult to clear prelims. That you have to keep in mind. But when you see the mains, we have in paper 3, GS paper 3, you know that we have economy, environment, science and technology, intel security. See there, the number of questions that is being asked in environment is hardly 1 or 2 questions. So last year it was 3 questions. So every year we get only 1 question or 2 questions, hardly 20 mark or 25 mark from environment. So what I will, please come. So what I will suggest to you is environment, you have to give more focus for the prelims point of view. See, do not do any specific preparation for mains environment because your return on investment will be very poor. See, if you take economy, yes, prelims economy is different, mains economy is different. Prelims economy, you have to focus more on macro economy, inflation, budget, and other thing. But whereas the mains economy, you have to focus on industries, agriculture, and other aspects. So your prelims preparation for economy should be different. Mains preparation for economy should be different. You should have a different strategies. But for environment, no, please don't do it. So we will take up another 30 to 35 hours. So that I will try to comprehensively cover prelims and mains and give more focus for prelims environment. And of course, I hope many of you will be writing this year, am I right? So some of you may be writing this year. So what I will suggest is environment for the prelims point of view, you give more focus. So if there is anything mains point of view, 99% of the time before the mains exam, maybe the month of September, mains or September or October. So before the mains exam, last 6 months, what was in the current affair, that is what they used to ask in the mains. So we have to give more focus for the prelims point of view. So that is what. Sometimes in the interview, yes, there is a possibility that they can ask you 1 or 2 questions on environment. There are some chances. So our weightage is more for the prelims, less for the mains, and of course, even sometimes rarely it can also be for the interview. Okay, so this is about the environment from the UPSC point of view. So, and one more thing I want to tell, if you take the current affairs, because current affairs nowadays is it's very important. See, why UPSC of late is focusing more on current affairs is, you know that this exam is in the age band of 21 to 35, 37. Am I right? See, probably you may be in 21, 25. So you may go and sit in the exam. Next to you, another person, okay, who may be 34 or 35, he will also writing the same prelims. And definitely he would have given, even he would have attempted prelims, mains, he would have gone up to interview and again he may come back. Or you would have got some IRS or service and again he may come back. See, now you may be in 2025, but you have to compete with 30, 35 years who have a lot of experience in this prelims. Now, how the UPSC can balance it? See, UPSC should also be a level playing field, am I right? At 21 years, 22 years who come out of the college, or 23, 25, he comes with a very less experience in UPSC in the subject. But whereas 32, 35, who has a lot of experience in this prelims, he also comes and sits in the prelim. Definitely, he will have more advantage than you. If a UPSC has to give a equal platform, the only one way what they can do is current affair. Because when they give a current affair, that particular year, everyone has to study. But if they give only on conventional, there are more chances that people who have 5 years, 6 years experience, they will easily compete it. That is the reason UPSC also gives equal importance to the current affair. So what we have done is, you know that we have something called Chakra session. There's a pew for the current affair, Chakra session, pew for the current affairs. See, what I will do is, now in the class, I will complete all the conventional aspects. 2 years back, any current affairs, that I will try to cover. But the recent last 1.5 years current affair, I will take it as a separate Chakra session. See, that will be better because I'm handling for 18 batches environment. So in Chennai, Bangalore, and other thing. So I would have started my probably the classes from by the month of August, September. So for almost 10 batches, I completed in Chennai. For 2 batches, I completed in Bangalore. Now I'm doing now here. Suppose if I cover certain current affair now, probably for those students become disadvantage. Even maybe after a month's time, I will be covering 2 more sessions and 2 more batches for Chennai. So if I'm covering some current affair there, for you it will become disadvantage. So that is the reason what I try to do is for all the 18 batches, I make it one current affair complete compilation 1.5 years. So that you will have all the basic conventional and complete 1.5 years current affairs. 1.5 years to 2 years current affairs is more than sufficient. Maybe we will take up 2 session or 3 session. We will do that so that comprehensively you will be well prepared for it. Okay, so that is one thing. And the second thing, what I want you to do is whatever we are taking the session, try to do it probably that day or in that week, because otherwise the utility of the class will not be there. See, after a month's time, if you take the book and if you read it, there is no use at all. So what we do, please go and do in your essay book. That will be sufficient for you. Okay, so now let us get into the topic. See, before I enter into the subject for the prelims point of view or from the UPSC point of view, so first I want to do a small brainstorming. Why we need to study about environment today? Today, in the sense, apart from UPSC point of view, so why today environment is a very important topic. So, and you can see a lot of environmental degradation is going on. I really do agree the environmental degradation is going on. So what is your opinion on this environment and environment degradation? Even online students can also type in the chat box. So whatever you know, you can just speak out. Yeah, your opinion on environment degradation. Do you really think environment degradation is going on? Because of that, what is going to happen? What is environmental degradation? Because of this environmental degradation, what is the impact? Okay, very good. That is one. She talks about biodiversity. There will be few species. Okay, fine. Then, okay, climate change is happening. Good. Yeah, for sustainable development. Okay, but environment degradation, and my question is on environmental degradation. And do you really agree at present the environmental degradation is really going on? If so, come. If so, what would be the impact of it? Okay, see, the only one. Yeah, come on. Okay. Good. February. Okay. Okay, so she says about the changes in the weather, it's the extreme weather events, and of course the pollution level. But you have to understand the picture, the theme picture, what I've taken for environment, this is the answer. See, if you, at the end of the session, maybe after 35 sessions hours, you will come to know that the future is very difficult to survive. See, today, you see the level of pollution. Yesterday I came from Chennai. Today morning, I feel that probably you're here. You would have got accustomed to that. But I feel my nose block and I feel my eye irritation. So that air quality is different. This air quality is different. It's clearly I'm sensing it. So what is the state of Delhi right now? Okay. See, the thing is, okay, it affects the household of life forms. Now the future. If this rate goes on, if this environmental degradation goes on for the next 20-30 years, definitely our children will not be able to survive at all. Our next generation will not be able to survive. And what and all the impact? I will tell you some of the impact. The very first impact, I will tell, we are slowly moving into poverty. Okay, how we are moving into poverty because of this environmental degradation? Yes, there is a lot of connection between economy and environment. There is a lot of connection. So how we are moving into poverty is, first you see land. First I will say the land is degraded. More than 50% of the land is degraded. Maybe in another 20 years, maybe around 80 to 90% of the land will get degraded. If the land is getting degraded, obviously your agriculture becomes very difficult. See, today for 1 acre, you are getting 10 bags of rice or wheat. For the same 1 acre, you will not get 10 bags of rice because of the climate change and land degradation. You will get only 5 bags of rice. What would be the consequence? Instead of getting 10 bags of rice, if I get only 5 bags of rice from 1 acre of land, what would be the consequence? Price level will increase. Supply reduces, automatically anyway the same demand is there, the price increases. So today if you are getting 50 rupees or 60 rupees a rice or wheat, you will not get to that 10-50 rupees. It will come to 80 rupees, 100 rupees. Now that time, it is not the rich is going to get affected. Please understand, in this environmental degradation, you have to understand it is only the poor people are going to get more impacted. The poor vulnerable section is the one who is going to have a big impact. You know that all the impact, whatever the impact we see, political impact, economic impact, it is only the poor sections are, they are only suffering it. Actually, we middle class or upper middle class, we don't suffer it. Of course, in the environmental degradation, middle class also is going to suffer a lot, but poor class is going to become very vulnerable. Now, number 2, you take water. In India, 70% of the water resources is polluted. What is the state of Ganga? And you take across India, all the 70% of the water is polluted. Okay, river water is polluted, leave it off. Groundwater, come. Groundwater. Okay, what about a groundwater? You take, totally there are 190 countries in India. In that, 190 country in the world. In India, that is one country, India, is extracting world 30% of groundwater. Imagine that out of 190 countries, one country, India, we are extracting world 30% of the groundwater right now. This is what recently Niti Aayog has given it. Now, if this rate of extraction goes on next 30 or 40 years, what will happen to the groundwater? Groundwater will be there, it will be depleted. But the thing is, anyway, groundwater will be there, but you have to go deeper. Okay, today you put a bore well. Okay, let me say that you're spending 5 lakh rupees for a bore well. Now, the same 5 lakhs, you cannot get a water. You have to invest in Norway and in Sweden, we have technology. That technology, you have to bring it. So that will cost you 25 lakh. Okay, if you want to put a bore well, it will be around 25 lakh or 30 lakh. Then only you'll get a water. Then the question will come, who will get water, who will not get water? It is only the rich will get water, the poor will not get water. So that is the one thing. And then come to the third one. So obviously, I don't want to explain this at all. So we are getting a lot of problems. So, okay, according to you, how much people are dying in India because of air pollution? You know that 15 lakh people are dying in India because of air pollution. In that 50,000 deaths from Delhi alone. Yes, that is the reality. 2019 WHO released a report, 50,000 deaths. And the thing is, 50,000 deaths is from the poor section of people who are directly exposed to the air for a long period of time. See, somehow we escape. We come to the room, we have probably you will have an air purifier, something you will have. But the poor section cannot do it. And air pollution, please keep in mind, air pollution does not only create respiratory problem. Air pollution creates heart attack. Air pollution creates stroke. Even a healthy individual, 30 years, will also get a heart attack. And people are dying because of heart attack and stroke. It's the main root causes air pollution. So we will see, we will have one separate session for air pollution. I will tell you in detail how the air pollution affects us. Definitely we have to discuss this in detail since we are in Delhi. Then come to the next one, flora and fauna, biodiversity. Okay, flora and fauna, but it's called biodiversity. It's different types of plants and animals. So we have, according to the National Geographic Channel, we have 1 crore of plant and 1.5 crore of animal we have. Do you know that in the last 50 years, how much biodiversity we have lost? We have lost 60% of the biodiversity. See, tiger, once upon a time, it was 80,000 in India. Today, it is hardly 3,000. Lion was more than 20,000. Today, it's hardly 600. We have lost 60% of the biodiversity. Okay, let them die. What's the problem for you? Let the plant and animal die. What is going to happen? Okay, put chain. See, beyond that, there is one thing. So I hope everyone knows GDP. Am I right? Economy. I hope your class would have been done. Our 60% of our GDP directly or indirectly depends on this biodiversity. Our economy is driven by biodiversity. See, probably you may think, wow, biodiversity is connected with it. Okay, there is a lot of connection we have. So many wood resources, many medicinal resources, many industrial product we derive only from plant and animal. And of course, there is a report in Western Ghats, in the southern India, Western Ghats, the elephant population is declining. When the elephant population is declining, what are the consequences? Children will die. So you may think, how elephant die, children will die. How elephants die, children will die. Because elephant only maintains the forest. Because elephant walks for 18 hours per day. They lay lot of dung. They are the manure. They do lot of pollination. When the elephant runs or when the elephant walks the entire forest only, your entire forest is maintained. Forest is maintained only, it will observe the, the different types of pollutant and different types of carbon dioxide. If the elephant is not there, forest will decline. Forest decline, pollution level will increase. When the pollution level increases, the first vulnerable, of course, we are all, little adult. But children, they have a very tender lungs. So they are the one first is going to die. So you have to understand our survival is also connected with the biodiversity and our economy is also driven by the biodiversity. So we will see in detail how our economy is driven by this biodiversity. We call it as a ecosystem services, the different types of ecosystem services. Today we consume fish. You know that 75% of the tropical fish breeding happens in mangrove. If mangrove is not there, fish is not there. If the coral is not there, fish is not there. But we have lost more than 40% of the mangrove. We have lost more than 50 to 60% of the coral by coral bleaching. So all the tropical fish is declining. So you have to understand biodiversity. It's a very big topic. Our survival is connected with the biodiversity. That's one thing. Then come to the climate change. Of course, see, I cannot explain climate change. It's a very broad topic. So I can tell a lot of natural disasters can happen. Cyclone level will change. You can see forest fire increases, drought will increase, extreme weather event will happen. So that will have a lot of damage. See, ultimately, you have to keep only one thing in mind. That is, we have a very huge population. Of course, totally across the world, we have around 820 crore population. In India alone, we have 140 crore population. This huge population of definitely, you have to do a lot of economic activity. Am I right? Because of this huge population only, the different types of economic activity like agriculture, industries, infrastructure, different types of economic activities happening. That it is degrading the environment. That results in environmental degradation. And also one more thing is also there. In this population, you have to keep in mind our lifestyle. We lead a very costly lifestyle. So how do you say that we lead a very costly lifestyle? We are not coming in bins. I'm right. But yeah. No, what happened? No, I don't want it. Okay, how we lead a costly lifestyle? Imagine, in order to construct this building, you need to use a lot of bricks. You need to use a lot of cement, steel. Now, when you produce that, how much amount of carbon dioxide or how much amount of pollutant would have entered into this atmosphere? See, we are sitting in it. See, whatever, and you just imagine the pant and shirt. Very simple. One jeans pant. In order to manufacture one jeans pant, you need around 7,500 liters of water. So when I say 7,500 liters of water, I will say that 5 members in a family can use that water for 7 days. That is the water we are using for manufacturing of this one jeans pant. And the entire life cycle of jeans pant, 75,000 liters of water is used. Imagine what is the rate we are taking the resources, what rate we are taking the water resources and different types of resources. See, we are leading a very costly lifestyle. So that ultimately it is going to put I will tell it is environmental cost. If you come to our economy, they use a term called externality. I don't know whether you have seen it, but even if you go to your macroeconomics book, at the end of the GDP chapter, they would have given one thing called externality. So what is externality? I will give it in a very simple form. You take a ITC cigarette manufacturing company. An ITC cigarette manufacturing company, for a year, let me say they are producing 1,000 crore revenue. That is part of our GDP. Am I right? Obviously, it is a part of the GDP. Now, the company is creating a revenue 1,000 crore. Of course, the employees are getting salary, the company is making profit, the government is getting taxes. That cigarette comes to the local shop, petty shop. He is also selling the cigarette. He is also taking the commission. All right. Of course, everyone, the economy is driven by that company. But after the cigarette is smoked, after the people smoke the cigarette, they get into some sort of a lung infection or anything. Again, they go to hospital, they spend money. Let me say that they are spending 100 crore. in return because of cancer and other thing. Okay, it is also part of the economy, but what is the original revenue created by the company? I will tell it's only 900 crore. It's not 1000 crore because again you are spending the money back to the in order to clean it. So this is something called externality. Now I will just see this. See, today we are all sitting here. It's only because of the power. Yesterday from Chennai I came here. It's because of the power. Am I right? It's a flight. It's a power. Now you see we are all connected only by power. The online students are connected by the power, light and everything. Now today the power in India is coming from the coal power plant. Of course, 70% of the electricity in India come from the coal power plant. Now in Delhi, definitely we are coal power plant only. Now the coal power plant runs. Okay, fine. Your industry is growing. Your GDP is growing. Good. But the coal power plant runs, lot of carbon dioxide, everything comes out. Now that goes and pollutes your air, or that goes and creates a climate change. And again, disaster come. Again, what we are doing is we are spending money. Am I right? See, the economic activity at one point of time, it is benefiting us, but later point of time, it is going to kill us. I will tell you this externality, how it is increasing. Just imagine this. I hope everyone know about Namami Ganga program. Do you have an idea what is the budget of this program? See, when the government launched it, when our Prime Minister Modi launched it, he told that we are going to spend 10,000 crores. But till now, we have spent anywhere around 30,000 crores for cleaning the river Ganga. But still it is not cleaned. Okay. Now, my question is, why you are spending this 30,000 crores for river cleaning? Why did you spend it on education? Why didn't you spend it on health? Why didn't you spend it on rural women development? Why you are spending? See, that's 30,000 crores is a resource. Am I right? That money you spend it on health, that money you spend it on education. Why are spending it on river cleaning? Okay, we have to clean the river. But why the river polluted? From 1970s onwards, 5 industry, apart from sewage, 5 industry, leather, textile, sugar, tannery, distillery, this 5 industry created a lot of employment, but they polluted the water. Now, again, from the budget, we are spending the money. It's a public money. It's our money. See, this is what is going to increase in the future. The environmental cost is increasing. Hereafter, after 30, 40 years, you see, when you are in Delhi, or probably your children are in Delhi, I will tell that monthly 10,000 or 15,000, they have to spend it on air purifier. Monthly 20,000, they have to spend it on air conditioner or air heater. Monthly, 15,000 or 20,000, they have to spend it on water, because water availability will not be there. See, the cost will increase. Can you understand what I'm saying? This is what happening in the environment. See, it's purely because of the economic activity. Am I right? Because of the population economic activity. Now, this is a state. This is the existing state. What we have to do. So what we can go for, what we can do for. See, I will say that everything is only because of the economic activity, population economic activity. So, well, what to do? So I hope you understand fundamental. Okay, we can follow. Okay, fine. Okay, R3 cycle, fine. But see, it's a very complex problem. We'll come to know. It's a very complex problem. See, one group of people say that activism. Have you seen this? The different types of activism, and today environmental activism is at the peak. Now, when any economic project comes, Narmada Bachao Dam, you know that any economic activity comes, they come and say that stop it. Please don't do that environment. See, they say this generation is very greed. See, this only the last 2 generations has exploited like anything. It's not before that. All your development process started only in 150 years. Almost the last 60 years is the peak of the development. Now, these people say that, please stop all this economic activity. It is a greed of this generation to, have a very luxury lifestyle. Don't go for such a development. See, when there is no future, then why such a development? It is not that we can use everything, then we pollute everything, and then we exhaust, and then we die. That's not a right thing. So this is a one aspect. So, okay, can we attach to this? If you say that you can attach to this, then you should not sit here. Am I right? You should not sit for civil service. See, 140 crore population in India, you have to you need to provide employment, and the two we have a huge youngsters. So definitely economic activity should take place. But when economic activity happens, definitely environment is going to degrade. So this type of degradation we should not happen. You know what is the state of Delhi? So what we can go for? Of course, finally we have only one option: sustainable development. That is, our economy should go. We cannot stop economic activity. We cannot stop economic development, but we should make a sustainable development. Okay, we have to close coal power plant, replace with solar energy, wind energy. Okay, go for e-vehicle. So like that, we have to move towards. So whether India is moving towards it, this is what we have to see. Right? So this is the basic, thing what is happening in the environment. But what UPSC expects from you? Of course, UPSC wants you to know all these things. But generally, when you come to the prelims paper, UPSC expects only the basic fundamental environmental sciences. See, today you're in Delhi. See, right now, what is this pollution? Okay, it is a particulate matter 2.5. It's a ozone. See, you should be able to tell very clearly what are the pollutant is there, how the pollutant is going to impact. See, tomorrow, if a water pollution, so you should know what is COD, BOD. So what UPSC expects is fundamental sciences. When you are strong in the fundamental sciences, then there are more chances that you can understand the issue. You can create a policy. See, ultimate objective, you become an IAS officer, you are going to create a policy. So without having a basic knowledge, it is not possible to create a policy. That is what UPSC is expecting. Based on the last 10 years question bank, last 15 years question bank, I will say these are the topics we need to focus. So number one, the very fundamental science of environment, that is ecology and ecosystem functioning. Ecology and ecosystem functioning. So in this, the very basic sciences we'll see. The second one topic is ecosystem types. So we have only land ecosystem, water ecosystem. So this is something terrestrial, aquatic. So in this, we will discuss what are the various terrestrial, start from the tropical rainforest to, okay, what and all we have, savanna, tundra, taiga, the various land ecosystem we'll see. And when you come to the aquatic, we will see the major aquatic ecosystem like corals, mangroves, seagrass. So this is what UPSC focus. So that ecosystem we will discuss. That's the second topic. The third topic, biodiversity conservation. Biodiversity conservation. So the different, how India conserves the biodiversity. So we have a concept of national park, wildlife sanctuary. Through that also we conserve through protected area. We have the various act like forest conservation acts and all. Apart from that, we have also signed many conventions, convention on biological diversity and all. And so it's a very broad area. We will try to see what are the various way the India conserves the biodiversity. So that's a biodiversity conservation. The fourth one, we will see the environmental degradation, pollution. In the pollution, we will discuss air pollution and water pollution in detail. But anyway, we will also try to see some important solid waste. Air pollution, water pollution, and we will also try to see some important solid waste. The fifth one is, there is one small mains oriented topic. This is called EIA, Environmental Impact Assessment. Environmental Impact Assessment, EIA. And the last topic is, we will see climate change. Right? So these are the topics we have to cover for our environment. Now, okay. Just have a look at it. Do not write it. See, Prelims syllabus, it's a general issues on environmental ecology, biodiversity, climate change that do not require subject specialization. Okay, that is what they will tell, but it requires. Okay, see here, pollution is not given, but every year they used to ask 2 to 3 questions from pollution. So the syllabus is very tentative. And if you see the mains, conservation, pollution and degradation, impact assessment. But last year the question was from the sea level rise, climate change. So I will say the syllabus is something, a very tentative one. So the 7 topics, whatever I said, we have to cover it. Then only the comprehensively environment can be covered. Okay, book source, what I will suggest is, first and foremost thing, you have to start with your NCERT science. See, I do not know whether you have done your NCERT science. So if you have done with your NCERT science, please go and do. If you have not done, please go and do 6th to 10th. 6th to 10th, it's mandatory. +1, +2, it's really a little higher, but I'm giving you an option. Whatever possible, you try to cover +1, +2. But 6th to 10th, mandatory. Without starting this, don't get into environment. The basic science concepts you should know. Okay. Second is, you can go with our essay book. Of course. So what I will suggest is, whatever the topic I'm covering it, that you try to cover in the essay book. That itself, more than 60% of the book will get covered. See, we cannot cover the entire book. It's not possible. But 60% of the major topic will get covered. That is more than sufficient. Beyond that, if you have a time, you can cover other chapters. Okay. So try to do in that particular week itself. Fine. So without your NCERT, please don't touch your essay book. So I want you to go and do your NCERT book. Why science is important? Anyway, so whether you are good in science, so now right now we will come to know. Okay, the first classes, it will be more about sciences. See, 11th and 12th, biology. I wanted to see on biology, but biology is a very vast one. So there are some 2-3 chapters specifically on for the environment. 2-3 chapters are there. Okay, but here and there it is there. Air pollution. If you go to chemistry book in +2 book, there is a one air pollution. So like that we have. So what I will suggest is, whatever possible, you try to see it. Because I cannot ask you to cover the entire +1, +2. Yes, man. See, for at least for science and technology, it's mandatory. But that is what I'm telling you. I'm giving you as an option, whatever possible, try to cover. Because if I ask you to cover, it's a very tedious one. Okay, that is what.